Good evening, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, respected IDW participants, IDW 2022 participants. I'm the announcer, Sorry Moon. Yes, I'll be joining you once more from the opening ceremony as your MC. Seeing everyone for 4 days, it made me feel as if I'm the part of the world's data specialist or family. So I can see how big of a role everyone has in the data industry and how much effort everyone puts in. So I should hold this microphone with utmost respect towards everyone. Thank you very much for your whole efforts during this session and at this conference. So before we start the closing plenary session, I would like to inform you that the simultaneous interpretation service will be provided, and this will be only in English. For on-site participants, interpretation service receiver is on your table. Please use your receivers during the session. Channel 1 for Korean, 2 for English. And for virtual participants, please use the interpretation button on the right bottom side of the screen. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin the IDW 2022 closing plenary session. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, after the successful journey of the 4 days, we are about to conclude the IDW 2022. This event became more meaningful, exploring the theme data to improve our world with 1,000 data experts and specialists from 35 different countries. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the Professor Jeff Shim from the Seongkyungan University first. Professor Shim has significantly contributed for the past 2 years to lead a successful IDW 2022 in Seoul. Let's invite him to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. I find it really strange to come up here again, all right? So the hybrid nature of this event created a lot of opportunities as well as challenges. Personally, it was really nice to sit in a room with colleagues from other countries. But even in a hybrid session, it was sometimes even better to join virtually, and I was able to actually concentrate better. So I don't know about your experience. Anyways, this is time when we think about how successful the event has been, right? So how do you measure success of your participation in this event, and how do we measure success of this event as a whole? Obviously, the place really matters. Seoul, Korea. I don't know whether you had time to explore the country, the city, and the surrounding area. What about the conference venue? This whole facility. This is my first time here at this location, actually, right? How was the food? I heard many people complimented the lunch buffet, saying that that was the best meal they were given in any conference so far. Now, let's think about the moments whether these things happened during the conference. I made a new friend. I found a collaborator. I learned something new. Of course, some of the things were way over my head to me. I found a reference or resource that I did not know exist. Wow, this is interesting stuff. I want to take it and I want to make it happen in my own institution and in my own country. That person has a really interesting idea, and I also want to explore more about that. I met a really I found a role model that I want to follow. If any of these experience happened to you during the event, let's give a really big round of applause. Now, here's a quick rundown of the event. Okay, so number of people who participated. Globally, 827 people participated from 50 different countries. Now, when you go to Huva, you might find that there are more than 827 people. I don't know what happened to those additional 50 people who kind of sneaked in, but that's good, all right? They must have learned something, okay? Geographical breakdown, Asia, 13 countries, 298 participants. The most. Europe, 20 countries, 272 participants. Africa, 5 countries, 35 participants. Actually, I'm looking for my 2 Nigerian friends. Okay, they're not here yet. I'm sure they will turn up for the farewell event. Okay. North America, why? There are only 2 countries. I was expecting more, right? 140 participants. South America, 4 countries represented, 13 participants. Oceania, 2 countries, 64 participants. And Middle East, 4 countries, 5 participants. So Ronin, okay, there's one from Israel. Okay, wonderful to have you. Okay, I don't know whether we have a breakdown of virtual participants and in-person participants. I think it's somewhere between 200 some on-site participants and the rest virtual participants. Too bad we could have had a lot more colleagues from China and Japan, those 2 neighboring countries, but they're the ones who have the stiffest travel restrictions. Okay, hopefully we'll see more of them in future IDW events together. Number of sessions, 8 plenary sessions, 73 RDA sessions, 47 SciDataCon events, co-located events like business meetings and so on, 7 meetings. And poster exhibition, there were 4. Some were online and some were on site. So there's a total of 139 meetings or sessions. 48 of them were fully virtual, but we had more hybrid sessions. So this is a new experience. I don't know whether we will continue with having these hybrid options, but that's something we are going to explore for future IDW meetings. Okay, so I think there is a short video presentation ready. Now let's enjoy.
We need another big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, we won't forget such a memorable time during the IDW 2022, and I hope you will be able to take back a noteworthy result during this session. Thank you very much once more. And also thank you very much to the Professor Shim for his generous support in enabling the people in the field of data to gather and share information. Why don't you give an additional big round of applause to the Professor Shim again? Thank you. And now wrapping up this all programs on behalf of the local organizing committee of the IDW 2022, Choi Kwang-nam, the head of the Division of National Science and Technology Data of KIST, will give us the closing remarks. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. It's an honor to deliver a closing remarks for IDW 2022. Distinguished guests, I'm Choi Kwang-nam, General Director of Division of National Science and Technology Data of Korea Institute of Science and Technology Information. Under the theme of Data to Improve Our World, IDW 2022 has been successfully concluded, and I'm delighted to announce the successful closing. From June 20th to today, for 4 days, IDW 2022 has been held, and thank you all online and offline participants. For the past 4 days, as Professor Shim also mentioned, many people have participated in many sessions, and CoData and WDS has opened a research data conference called SciDataCon 2022, and also the International General Assembly on Data Sharing called RDA Plenary meeting were also held together, and the specialized sessions on digital transformation, research innovation, digital twin, supercomputer, healthcare, data education, sustainable growth, and ESG were carried out online and offline, and also online and offline post sessions were delivered, and as well as 6 exhibition and promotional booths. IDW 2022 is the world's largest research data-related conference held in Korea for the first time in Asia in the era where international cooperation on data is important, and I'm sure that all the participants have shared their experience and lessons to create the research data ecosystem based on ICT. And finally, I'd like to thank organizers, CoData, RDA, and WDS, as well as LOCs such as KIST, KIGAM, KIOM, KRIS, NLK, and Seongkyungan University. The organizing committee and Be-Bold Communications, who have successfully run the event. And I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to all the distinguished guests and participants. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you for your efforts for the past 4 days. It was interesting and fruitful. And next year, let's meet in Salzburg, Austria at IDW 2023. I hope we can see all of us in person. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Choi Kwang-nam, the head of the Division of National Science and Technology of KIST. Yes, he shared the first results of the past 4 days as well, and many participants from each country are together with us there. And I think their presence just simply adds more to the occasion. Thank you very much for your heated participation. Thank you. So now I would like to hand over the microphone to the IDWOC. This time, Christine Kirkpatrick will take the microphone for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her with a big round of applause.
Hi, good evening. I'm Christine Kirkpatrick, Secretary General of CODATA, and also from the San Diego Supercomputer Center. On behalf of CODATA, the Research Data Alliance, and the World Data System, I would like to thank our Korean organizing partners and sponsors for their incredible generosity and thoughtfulness. The City of Seoul has been so welcoming, starting off with our welcome from the mayor, the members of parliament, and leaders of the country's premier institutions of scholarship, of technology, medicine, the geosciences standards, and the National Library. We thank you for your flexibility and fortitude to see this event through to the safe and successful hybrid event we were able to hold with over 800 data experts from around the world. We thank you for bringing together academic researchers, industry partners, nonprofits, and especially the student researchers who helped support the conference and inspired me with discussion of their studies and aspirations. Gathering in Korea has been a fitting place for keeping the momentum of research data innovation in motion. At yesterday's plenary session, Dr. Jung Sung Kim reminded us that it was here that for 5 centuries during the Joseon dynasty, the data was collected, organized, and preserved in the form of the annals of the Joseon dynasty. That's twice the age of my home country, the United States, or in Europe, it would be the time from the Age of Enlightenment to now. On Sunday, I was privileged to visit the nearby Gyeongbokgung Palace and imagine the scribes tasked with recording the actions and words of the king with the forethought that transparency and data collection would influence righteous and benevolent actions. As we move ahead, we must bring these lessons and examples from the past forward with us. Our hosts have also embodied and brought out in the rest of us a true love of science, technology, progress, and collaboration. One of the moments that really touched my heart this week was when our CODATA president, Baran Man, said, "Knowledge is like love. It is multiplied when it is shared." Indeed, there has been much multiplying of knowledge and fraternity this week. The connections made this week are the beginning of new partnerships, friendships, and collaborations. And as we chart this future of data-driven discovery, of using all our creative capacity, our research objects, and computing know-how to make the world better, from hazards response and climate change, to personalized medicine and public health, to exposing inequities and protecting privacy, we must promise each other to not forget this week and to say, let's go together. 감사합니다. I'd like to welcome up the Secretary General of the Research Data Alliance, Hilary Hanaho.
Thank you, Christine. From my side, that was wonderful. That was really lovely on behalf of all of us. I'm really grateful to you. Right, so I'm not going to talk to you about IDW, though I am grateful to our host, but I've said that. I can see the slide, but you can't. So next year, we all host plenary meetings normally every 6 months. And every 2 years together with CODATA and WDS. And that is a wonderful occasion on the timeline for us and for our community to do the International Data Week. We haven't had we've continued with our virtual plenaries since 2020 when we had to cancel our plenary in Australia and go virtual. And of course, this is our first, if you like, back in presence. And this was our 19th plenary meeting. In 2013, March 2013, the Research Data Alliance was launched by the European Commission, the government in the US and the Australian government were the main founders. And our first meeting took place in March 2013. And so next year we're going to celebrate our 10 years and call it a decade of data. But we are going to have our 20th plenary meeting back where it all began, in Gothenburg, Sweden, from the 21st to the 23rd of March 2023. So I'm making this announcement now. I would like to thank Chalmers University, who indeed were our original hosts, and the University of Gothenburg and the Swedish National Data Service for hosting us. And this is news that we just received and agreed upon in the last couple of days. So a very big thank you to these two wonderful gentlemen who are making it happen. And so we will go back where it all began. And I only like to highlight that at the top corner picture, if you can see it, I don't know, does this thing work? Yeah, that was the signage of the first RDA plenary meeting on the 18th of March 2013. Those of us that walked up the hill, that's what we saw. So we might get a banner or two for the next one. So anyway, I hope you will all join us. It will be a hybrid event. We will not go back to only in-person events. And I hope you will join us next year in Gothenburg at Chalmers University to celebrate 10 years of RDA. Thank you very much.
I'm glad to know I'll see you in Sweden in March, Hillary. Very exciting. Okay, and thinking of other exciting places we will go together, I'd like to welcome Arne Bathke, who's the University of Salzburg and is a professor of statistics there. Is he virtual? Okay. Okay, well, I think he will be talking about going to Salzburg for International Data Week 2023. Perhaps we should, if it doesn't mess things up, we could skip to the next person who is in here, and we can go back to Arne if he's able to join us virtually. Is that?
So it's fantastic to see you. It's actually, you can sense the momentum, the spirit from the lecture hall, which is really exciting. Congratulations to the local organizers in Seoul for putting this together in these really difficult times. And I would have loved to be there, which wasn't possible for different reasons. And I just learned that next year is also 10 years of RDA, which is celebrated in Gothenburg, but we will continue the celebration. We will continue it in Salzburg in the fall. We call it a festival of data because Salzburg in Austria is known as the Festival of Music City. And we really hope that we can match up. We can kind of be as good as you in organizing it, and hope to see 800 people maybe here in Salzburg. At least we're prepared for it. We're looking forward to having 800 or more of you all in the beautiful little city of Salzburg in Austria. It's known for Christian Doppler, it's known for Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and it will be known also for data. We just founded a new faculty at our university, a new college of digital and analytical sciences, where we got all these groups together who have been working in these areas that you all are representing, which also means there is a momentum also locally. And yeah, we have a little video prepared. And as far as I've heard, you are ready to play it. So for now, I say bye, and you will get to see a video that we pre-recorded. Zeb Strobel from Geoinformatics and me, and back then I was still dean of another faculty. Now I'm dean of digital analytical sciences. So let's see if it works. Welcome to the International Data Week IDW 2023 in the beautiful festival city of Salzburg. I'm Arne Bartke, Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, and we're looking forward to welcome you here for a festival of data.
The University of Salzburg is proud to develop a strong emphasis on digital sciences and technologies. Empirical evidence from all kinds of disciplines contribute to a huge amount of data which has to be analyzed to generate data products supporting decisions in all walks of society and industry. With my own background in geoinformatics, We are proud to contribute to this academic development as well as to the International Data Week of 2023.
Salzburg, a magnificent Baroque city on the northern edge of the Alps at the heart of Europe. The 500-year regency of the prince-bishops left an indelible mark. Today, the historical town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offering a marvelous combination of tradition and modernity, urban flair and verdant charm. Salzburg is a city of music and the festival, an information hub, and one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. Salzburg Airport offers excellent international flight connections, and every year, fast trains bring over 1.5 million guests to the home of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and the sound of music. Salzburg Congress is located in the heart of the city, right next to the world-famous Mirabell Gardens. The facility upholds Salzburg's long tradition as a venue for European scientific and medical congresses. The 5-story Congress Center is a sophisticated work of architecture that impresses with design clarity, purest facilities, and maximum versatility. Interior design variability and the lack of proprietary branding ensure there's plenty of space for individuality. The technological infrastructure meets the highest standards and is the most modern of its kind in the whole of Austria. Most importantly, above and beyond the facilities and technical infrastructure, it's the team here that fills Salzburg Congress with life. Since it opened, a well-rehearsed team at the venue has faced every challenge in a friendly and intelligent manner, and with plenty of the charm Salzburg is known for. Salzburg Congress, the charming way to succeed.
Thank you so much, Professor. We look forward to succeeding charmingly with you in Salzburg next year. Simon and Bridget did ask me, is any historical dress going to be required of the organizing committee members? No? Okay.
I hope not.
Oh, okay, that is worth it for the trip alone. Now I would like to welcome up Rosie Hicks, who's CEO of ARDC, for a very exciting announcement.
Good evening to everyone here in Seoul, and good day to those of you in the virtual world. I am delighted that the Australian Research Data Commons will be bringing International Data Week to Brisbane, Australia in October 2025. We will do this with the support of the Australian Government through the NCRIS programme and leading institutional and industry partners in the Asia-Pacific region. The conference theme for IDW 2025 is Trusted Research Data Driving Innovation and a Better World. It will, of course, build on the earlier International Data Weeks in shining a light on the power of data-driven research to solve the big challenges that our world faces today, such as climate and food and energy security. One of our goals for IDW 2025 is to build and strengthen the ties between research communities in Australia and the Asia-Pacific region by nurturing or even establishing sustainable groups advocating for fair science and data sharing practices across the region, which of course will continue after the conference. Together, we'll be building on some of the great work that's already underway, such as the fantastic Pacific and Regional Archive for Digital Sources in Endangered Cultures, known as Paradisic. It's a regional repository hosted in Australia that curates and keeps safe cultural, audio and video recordings for more than 1,300 languages across Australia and the Asia Pacific. Brisbane, the host city, will provide delegates with the opportunity to experience site visits to local research facilities, warm hospitality at the social events, and perhaps even a visit to the Great Barrier Reef, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Our innovative programme will deliver a rich face-to-face delegate experience, both in and beyond the conference centre, as well as the online option for those unable to travel. IDW 2025 will also inspire young researchers in data science through a careers hub, social gatherings, and the Young Data Researcher Awards. We received many letters of support from national and international partners in academia and industry and government who expressed their support for bringing IDW 2025 to Australia for the first time, and we're looking forward to working with them to deliver a really world-class event. Thank you, and congratulations to our generous hosts here in Korea. It has been a magnificent week. You've given us a lot to live up to. Thank you to the organisers of the conference, to the RDA, CoData and WDS, who've provided us with the opportunity to showcase Australia to the world. So, block out your calendars right now, and we look forward to welcoming every single one of you to Brisbane, Australia for International Data Week 2025.
Thank you so much for that phenomenal news, Rosie. Very excited. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Siamo Mochegwa, who's tuning in virtually.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me very well.
Perfectly.
It's such a delight to stand here today virtually. I would have loved to come and taste the cuisine that I hear so much about from Korea. Unfortunately, I couldn't, but we've experienced the warm welcome of the Koreans afar from here. Today, I'm going to announce that in 2027, IDW will continue in its traditions for going around the world, and it will come to Africa. This time in Cape Town, the beautiful, beautiful city of Cape Town. And it will be hosted by South African government through the very, very strong support of the Department of Science and Innovation, and hosted by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in the country. For those who don't know where Cape Town is, this is an opportunity in 2027 to venture down south, and I will implore you to trek along the coast to go to the most southerly point in the world, in the mode of Cape Point. I've taken the route myself. It's fantastic, fantastic route. The event will be hosted at the Cape Town Convention Center, and I think the Koreans have demonstrated ably that we can host both a virtual and a physical event. The event will be both physical and virtual. The convention center is a very capable capacity venue, and is right in the heart of Cape Town, and Cape Town is hugged by the mountains that you see there. Make it an opportunity to go up the Table Mountain and experience what it's around the Cape Town city. At the center, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is a very, very established institution with over 76 years of doing fantastic applied research. And it's an opportunity to come and engage with the scientific community, both in South Africa and in the country, in the continent. The event, as I indicated, is supported by the government of South Africa generously, but also supported by institutions in the country. For those who have been to the presentation that we've had today about the African Open Science Platform, We've indicated that Africa is a very, very large continent, as you can imagine. And this both presents opportunities and challenges. And the challenges can be addressed and attacked through science, and indeed through open science. Africa has developed the Agenda 2063 that espouses where Africa wants to be in 2063. And indeed, it's through platforms like IDW that will be an opportunity to interrogate and engage on these challenges that are both continental and by extension global at a venue in Cape Town in 2027. And indeed, we can reflect on potential value of IDW 2027, looking at some of those facets. It will be yet another opportunity to really enhance and entrench the dialogue on open science, insofar as various pillars are concerned, right from skills development to infrastructure, and the very important issue of resourcing science in the continent and globally. We have an opportunity to promote development of these interoperable and aligned open policy frameworks that everybody is talking about to enable everything that we're discussing. And it will be indeed an opportunity to take a barometer, regarding the operationalization of the UNESCO Open Science recommendations, for us to share best practices, to develop continental and global research commons and necessary platforms to foster global cooperation in terms of joint action. It will be yet another opportunity for Africa to showcase African research in addressing developmental agendas and social impacts. And indeed, it will be an opportunity to create linkages between the desperate open data and open science programs across disciplines and across continents. And indeed, it will be yet another opportunity to contribute to the development of global standards and the best community practice. There are a number of partners that will be supporting this conference, and there are another layer of partners. There you can see some partners as part of this presentation. There, I remind you that this will be 10 years after the first IDW was hosted in the continent. And indeed, it will be an opportunity to continue the dialogue then and the conversations that the decision makers have had about the value of data to their countries. I recall what happened then. There was a Corona statement that is still very relevant today. And indeed, the numbers that were just reported by the Korean organizers are impressive. And indeed, this should continue to be another opportunity to increase the footprint of IDW around the world. There were very, very good discussions held in 2018 and indeed continue today in Korea, and I'm sure it will continue in the next iterations of IDW. And I remind you what happened in Africa in 2020, in 2018, that attendance was fantastic. The energy was exuberant, and indeed there were some fond memories. And I say, I encourage you to make an effort to come to 2027 to experience the hospitality and the warmth of the African continent as we discuss some of these issues. Hopefully we will all see you there in 2026. Once again, thanking the organizers, Professor Shim and the organizing committee, and the people of Korea for hosting the world today on a very successful IDW 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Christine. We need another big round of applause to Christine for leading this part of this closing plenary session. Thank you. Yes, so with those statements, wonderful statement from the data specialists and experts in the world, that brings us to the end of the IDW 2022, where we were able to meet face-to-face after such a long time due to the COVID-19. By all means, I hope to see everyone next time without the mask, smiling, and I hope you will just watch out for the coronavirus and stay healthy. Thank you very much once more to all participants who just attended in this event on and offline. And I wish this moment does not end, but it is time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for your great time at the IDW 2022. Thank you. 감사합니다.